All right, second grade. Today we listened to a book about a boy who wore crazy hair on the wrong day of school. Today we are going to draw ourselves. This is called a self-portrait. And something different about our self-portrait that we're going to have to imagine is that we also have some crazy hair. So at the drive-thru, what you're going to need to grab is a big white piece of paper, a messy mat, and a Sharpie. When I get to my seat, the first thing I do is always the same. I grab a pencil and I write my name, Miss G, and my class code. I flip it over and I always draw on the blank side. Now, when you're drawing a self-portrait, you're thinking about what you look like, okay? Now, all of us, or just about all of us, have a shape of our head that's kind of like an oval. The shape of our head is like an oval, and when I have to draw something on white paper, I always draw really light until I get it right. Now, I'm going to draw a little bit heavier so that you can see up on the screen, but always try and draw super, super light. That way, if you make a mistake, you can erase. Now, my next step is I need to draw the part where my head rests. This is called my neck. And when I take a school self-portrait, you can usually see just a little bit of your shoulder. So I might think about what kind of shirt I'm wearing. I'm going to draw my Abraham Lincoln staff shirt. All right, now I'm going to fill in my face. Now I know about self-portraits and humans is their hair covers up a lot of their head. So right here I'm going to draw this light line. That's to show where my hair is going to go. So I have this much of my face to draw in. Now I'm going to start with my eyes. My eyes are kind of also like ovals, or some might say footballs. So I'm going to draw some footballs. And I know that looking at my eyes or my neighbor's eyes, that I have these things called a pupil and an iris. So I'm going to fill those in. And my other eye, a football, an iris, and a pupil. The iris is that colored part. My next step is my nose. You can draw noses lots of different ways. I'm going to draw mine like this. I draw a line. I draw a backwards J, kind of like a hook, and a C on either side. There's all sorts of ways to draw a nose. I might draw a nose that looks like a triangle. I could draw a nose that looks like a C. Maybe I could add a line onto that C. I could draw a nose that just looks like an upside down arch. There is all sorts of different ways to draw noses. So if you want to draw your nose different than I drew mine, that's all right. Next, I'm drawing my lips. Lips go like this. Up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill. The bottom part of my lips are kind of like a boat. I've got some big juicy lips and a line in the middle to show where they open. Okay? Now if you would like, you could include your ears, kind of thinking about the fact that your hair is going to come next. Ears are kind of like C's on either side of your head. Now I'm ready for the fun part, that hair. So I'm going to draw my bangs of my hair first, okay? And I'm going to draw my hair by creating some wild lines. Underneath your table, we have something called the elements of art. And this little packet can help us remember what those elements are. I'm going to flip to the line page, and this might give me some different ideas for lines to do. I see one right away, a wavy line. Okay? So I'm going to start at my head and go out with some big wavy lines. I could maybe look for another kind of line. Ooh, maybe zigzag. Zigzag. Oh, here's a good kind of line. I know is a straight line. You know all about straight lines. We see those all the time. Here's another line that I see a lot on the road. It's called a dashed line. I can maybe make a dashed line. I can make any kind of lines that I want to make up my hair. Now, when you're drawing your face, you might decide, how am I going to look if I wore crazy hair to school and I didn't know? I want to add something in that helps to show a lot of emotion. Those are eyebrows. That makes me look a little worried, and I'm going to change my mouth so that I look a little worried. All right, after I have drawn out all of my lines, I'm ready to come back and trace them with a Sharpie. So slow and steady with my messy mat underneath so I don't accidentally get Sharpie on the table. I'm going to trace all of my pencil lines with Sharpie. All right, artists, I have traced all of my pencil lines with Sharpie, and sometimes what happens when I'm tracing pencil lines is I miss a little bit. So to have good craftsmanship, what I'm going to come back and do is erase some of those pencil lines that I missed. So next week when I come back to paint, I don't see any pencil, I just see the Sharpie that I drew. I can't wait to see your different self-portraits with some crazy hair.